This shit's fire.
Right, and we are back, and sorry for the delay. It was absolutely my fault, Owen. I'm absolutely sorry for that. Right, so, but listen, ladies and gentlemen, it is an absolute honor to finally sit down with my man, Jason Bartlett, Owen's dad. As you guys and girls know, man, I'm a huge fan of the grassroots racing. I love to go after not only the kids and the future legends of the sport, but also their parents too, as well, because it's that beautiful journey, complete journey. So it's an absolute honor, Jason, finally to get you on the podcast, my friend.
Took a while. I resisted, but it took a while.
You did. You put up a little struggle, right? But we're here, and man, it's such an honor. I know, man, you've been in this game a long time yourself, and you have a beautiful journey too on how you got into it. So let's start off with your journey on how you got into those two wheels, my friend.
Okay. Man, starting off, I mean, ever since I was a little kid, my dad was a gearhead. So it starts off with him. I grew up sitting on the fender of a car, wrenching, since I was 2 years old. Basically from there, it was, just getting older and older. And, eventually we got to the point where, you got to kind of give me a minute because I hit my head and had enough concussions. Some of it's kind of way back.
You're good, bro. Take your time. Take your time, Jason.
But, kind of got into my early teens, 12, 13, 14. Finally convinced my parents to get us, my brother and I, a four-wheeler. Started a little Yamaha 100 Moto 4. But I'd always had anything, if it was a motor and wheels on it, man, it was obsession, pure obsession. But we got that little four-wheeler. Then as soon as I got, started working about 14-ish, picked up CR85, started doing some motocross stuff. At the same time, we also kind of traded up, a little step on that Moto 4, went from that to a big bore Banshee. So, doing the big bore quad, doing 100 mile an hour on a quad is pretty nuts. But just some motocross.
Banshees were absolutely insane. My buddy had one. He's like, dude, I just got this. You got to ride it. And I was like, holy shit. Are you kidding me right now? Yeah.
And then you throw that on, it rattles. So you got to put it back together about every 8 or 9 hours because it's vibrated itself apart. But doing stuff like that was a blast. And then the motocrossing, doing the CR85 or the CR80 at the time. Started out with a 1984 CR80 that I got. Started doing some motocross, some sneaking out to AMA, I think it was District 23 or District 25, around Jordan, Lakeville, Minnesota area, Elko, down to Spring Creek motocross track. Hurt myself a lot. That's the thing about riding in the dirt with, especially in the woods and motocross, was you wreck constantly and you're just smaller injuries, but just tons and tons of them. Then, I ended up and there's a few other bikes that kind of went through the garage at that point in time. I think we had an RD 350 that was, just a old beater street bike that we picked up somewhere for cheap. The old purple one with the white stripes, big old 2-stroke on that, or little 2-stroke on that. Learned how to ride on the street. Kept that running, learned how to deal with points and adjust carbs and, all that type of stuff.
Dude, carburetors to this day, you say that, people are like, well, what's a carburetor? I'm like, bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
They don't know the joys of, okay, you got to drop the float bowl, you got to set the float right, you got
You
to put
gotta set the
main jet
float
in,
height and dude, the pilot
you
jet,
know,
the fuel
clean that
mixer, air
pilot out.
mixer screws. Yeah, dude. Yeah, the E clip, bump it up, bump it down.
Yeah.
Dude, they have no idea. Stiffer spring, dude,
Yeah.
no idea, right?
Now you hop on the laptop and
And unplug it and say deuces. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No, not in our day. Take the gas tank, the air box, plug
Yeah. I
chops,
mean,
yeah, all that stuff.
and at the same time, I mean, I lived in kind of mid, south of Minneapolis area. So we had to deal with nasty ass winters. I did a little bit of snowmobiling, but I don't like the cold. So I never really went down, never really went down that road too far. Neighbors always had sleds, so I could always go out and ride when I wanted. But instead, for winter sports, I was snowboarding. I started snowboarding before they would allow snowboards on some of the ski hills like Buck Hill, and me and a group of my friends, we'd go out for the weekend. We'd go actually climb up to the top and snowboard down after hours. So it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're doing that. So again, just kind of starting to ruin my body and my knees. And then, basically at this point in time, it was, I finally got, decided to put some schooling in, decided I want to go for engineering. I did it because I wanted to go and work in the industry somewhere. So I went to college for composite engineering, kind of took a step back as much as I could. Was still rebuilding some bikes and that type of stuff, but just the basics. Hey, I got to go to college. So did the college thing. Just kind of letting everybody, let myself kind of get into a real world. Met my wife at college. And then the last, as soon as I got out of college, got a stable job, made, barely enough money. I decided, I really want to get back into bikes. I want to get something. And I've been riding bikes, and I ride my friends' bikes and, my in-law bikes. I got married at, shortly after college, to my loving wife, Bobby, who's listening.
Hi, Bobby. Hey, we love you.
We love you.
Where's my heart at? What's going on? Hold up. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. I'll fix it.
They're not cooperating. But then, so I finally broke down. I made enough, after we bought our first house, little house in town in Winona, Minnesota, and ended up picking up a 2-year-old. So this was in 99, late 99, 2000-ish. So I've always lusted after Ducati. So I picked up a 748.
My first Ducati too, boy. Let's go.
Yeah. So that was my first real bike. Learned to ride that in the streets, and Winona is on the Mississippi River. So it's got all the bluff valleys. You could ride up and down the bluffs literally for days on both sides, the Minnesota side and the Wisconsin side. So it was great for that area. But I found myself doing some kind of close calls and other stuff that I shouldn't have been doing, getting a little stupid sometimes when I shouldn't be. Never had any issues or accidents, but it was coming. So at that point, I was talking with one of my buddies out in New Hampshire, and he was an Aprilia guy. So I knew him through work. He was one of our reps at the time. But he was in town at the factory for a visit. We started talking, and he's like, "Oh man, you got a Ducati? Oh, I got a Millie." So he says, "You know what we should do is we should talk our bosses into doing a work trip and going out and doing the Penguin Road Racing School out of New Hampshire at Loudon." So we're like, yeah. And by some, and that's Burke Blackburn. If he pops on or not, that's who he is. But we managed to talk our bosses into it. both of us. I talked to the president of my company, and he talked the owner of his company. So I flew out to New Hampshire. We made some sales calls, did our due diligence, and then spent 2 days at the Penguin Road Racing School with the Wood family. So Woodcraft, Eric, Jeff, mom, dad, and took the road racing school. And I was hooked. We went out, rode the school bikes around. I did my mock race with the LRRS, got my license, won my mock race, which was just like, yeah. And then, nowadays I'm looking at, well, Jesus Christ, I won a mock race. That's not.
You're like, I made it. Yes.
At the time, it was, hey, man, I'm the shit. But, I got hooked. And I still rode on the street a little bit after that. But I'm like, screw this. I'm going to race prep the duck. Not realizing, oh God, I'm going to have to start changing belts and do valve checks every 2 months and, started eating through that. But, so I did that. So I went home, ended up prepping the 748, and started looking around locally and found the CRA up in northern Minnesota. And at that time, the CCS / Azra under their former ownership. Did down Black Hawk, Road America, Mid America Motorplex, which is no longer around. So I started doing those races, kind of hit a little bit of each one to kind of sprinkle it in and see what different orgs were like. Never did the first 2 years, I don't think I ever did a full season, but then after that, doing a season and a half really on that duck, I just went, this is costing way too much. I need something
cheaper,
more realistic.
Right.
So I got buddy with my friends down in La Crosse, Wisconsin at the Two Brothers Honda dealer down there. And they said, we've got a 03 600RR that's been laid down and has a salvage title, but there's nothing wrong with it other than body work, and lights are all damaged. I'm like, what do you want for it? $3,100.
On my way.
I'm like, the thing had like 600 miles on it. I mean, it was brand new. And I mean, it's a Honda. You change the oil, you change the plugs once a year. And
you let her eat.
So I called up, my now friends at Woodcraft and said, hey, I need rear sets. I need case covers. They didn't have Hindle or armor bodies at the time, but then got a hold of some armor bodies for it, through it already had a slip on it. So that stayed on it, and just did basic race prep. Sent the stock shock out to, a suspension guy over in Milwaukee. And then I started racing that the next year. I raced most of the season on that with the CCS, doing the Black Hawk Cup, because they do 4 or 5 races at Black Hawk, and then a race at Grattan or G-Man, and then a race at Road America. And they were really pretty solid at that time, but a little too much Black Hawk in that. But I also got really involved with the CBR600RR.com forum. And I met the owner of that, Jeff Kofak, who everybody in the CCS Midwest, you'll remember who he is. You'll know him if you were racing back then. But I met Jeff, got to be really good friends with him. I actually ended up buying the next bike off of him, which was a 05 600 that was, built motor, had basically, it was more than a super stock spec motor, pretty close to a Formula Extreme motor, if I remember right. And that thing was a monster. That bike, 125 horse at the wheel and the dyno, and that was probably 2007.
Thing was a ripper.
Yeah. And so I got to be pretty well known on that message board. I actually ended up being an admin for a while. Poking fun, I'll drop a name here, is before Melissa Paris ever met Josh, she was on the CBR forum trying to figuring out how to go racing. So I've known Melissa Paris longer than Josh has known Melissa Paris. but it's one of those, got to know the community very well. Learned a lot from a lot of people. And about that same time, I met Rob from, at that time, Lithium Motorsports. And Rob and I started going back and forth, became friends. He was running a lot of the same tracks. We'd see each other at the race weekends. Started my, relationship with him. Wasn't riding under the Lithium banner for the first few years, but, always doing business. I started doing reviews on him, like when the Barrick MotoGP kangaroo suits came out.
Yeah.
He gave me one at a discount, and I proceeded to use it very, very well for a couple of years. But I wrote up, some pretty good reviews on parts and stuff, and started and built a good relationship with Rob. And as we kind of got better and better and older, I got faster. I moved up in bikes. So I went from an 03 to an 05 up to an 07. When I got onto the 07, I finally decided to race, a full season. Say screw it at that time, because that time it was tough to go get your expert license if you weren't racing 3 or 4 races every race weekend and doing the entire season, because you had to have the points. It wasn't about, hey, how fast are you on this one day? It's, hey, you got to have the points over the season to make it to an expert. So I decided, screw it. My 4th year in, 5th year in, decide I'm going to go get my expert license and take this a little more serious, because at that point I was starting to run times where I could qualify for the AMA race at Road America on the Super Sport. I could run 35s all day long. I could dip into the 32s. Is it front of the pack in Super Sport at that time? No. But I could qualify. I would have made the 110%. So I figured it's about time to go get my expert license. Ended up, last race of the year at Black Hawk. Was having a really good year. And, my wife was there. I had a son at that point in time. So at this point, I'd had my first child. So Max, hey, Max, if you're actually listening, recognizing you. And this is where it kind of went, I don't want to say downhill, but it started to go wrong here. But I had my parents at the track. My wife was at the track. She was pregnant with Owen. So Owen was at the track. He just wasn't out of the womb at this point in time. But at the end of the practice day, or midway through the practice day, I don't even remember. We had a novice, a guy just taking his race course that morning and was going out with practice on a 750 or 1,000, and going into turn 6 in the braking zone, ass packed me. And wiped me out. I remember coming into turn 4 that lap, and I woke up inside of an MRI. So I had a brain bleed. I had a shattered left collarbone. I had 3 broken ribs, so I didn't find out until a week later when I went to my orthopedic surgeon. I was like, anything else wrong? And I'm like, yeah, my ribs hurt. Well, let's x-ray those. Oh, you have 3 cracked ribs. Well, I got a shattered collarbone in like 10 or 12 pieces. So it didn't just break, it shattered. So, and I'd already a couple of years before that, I'd broken my right, um, but my wife was there and she's pregnant. And, you know, I don't have to tell you what a pregnant woman is like. Um,
Not at
so
all.
I was in the biggest trouble of my life
Ever.
ever to this
Haynes,
day.
back in the day, I'd be that noose would be around my neck.
Yep.
Kick the chair.
Yep.
Hold on, baby. Hold up.
And once she figured out, so they, you know, I got airlifted from the track to the local um critical care whatever center. You know, she watched me get airlifted. Um, you know, I feel bad about that, but there's nothing I did wrong. I braked at my normal spot from what I heard. I don't even know if it's real or not. But they said the guy behind me just didn't brake. He just right into me. But yeah, I got airlifted. I remember gaining consciousness in the MRI. You know, apparently I was probably around and aware at some point, but you know, that's where my memory kind of comes back. And then once she knew I was going to be okay, I wasn't okay. I was going to be okay. Then I got I got read the riot act. I got a brain bleed and they're keeping me overnight for observation. I'm in a sling. I'm on morphine because, you know, nothing's doing that pain, anything else. And to this day, she's still mad at me. To this day, she thinks about it and she's mad
Forgive
at me.
me. Yes, yes.
But so I took the next year off racing at her request. You know, everything was okay. Obviously, Owen got born, and I now had 2 kids, and you know, I needed to focus on that for the year, and you know, so I kind of slowed down after that. You know, quit worrying about, hey, I got to go get my expert license. You know, I had great support from the rest of the racing family, from Rob, from everybody else, even though I was kind of scaling back on my racing because kids are expensive, especially at that age. They were 3 and 1. So, you know, scaled back as much as I could while still getting out a couple times a year. And then after a couple of years of that, you know, I kind of realized, I sat back and I said, I don't have the competitive want to race anymore. I got out there and I didn't have a want to go get around that next guy, to go catch him and get around him and beat him. I just love being out on the track. And once I realized that and came to grips with it, I did my last race was the last Weir race ever at Blackhawk Farms. And at that point in time, I had not set foot on the track after that race because that was kind of my weekend to say, do I still want to do this or not? I still love the track. I still love the people. And I just said, I can't do this anymore at a competitive level. Get out on track day. Yeah, no problem. I can do that. You know, get out and help, but I still have all this knowledge and people would still drag me to the track. I got my buddy, Mark Stork, you know, kind of asking me, hey, can you come out for a weekend here? Can you come out for a weekend there? Help me set up my bike. Hey, help me set up this. And then, you know, I was good at setting up a bike. I was good at being a mechanic. I was good at being, you know, running a pit. You know, I'm very attentive. I'm super anal when it comes to my work, making sure the bikes are there, making sure they're ready. I hate working on bikes at a track. You know, if I got to do something, I got to pull springs, got to do a suspension adjustment, got to throw on rear sets, do a little crash damage, not a big deal. But the last thing I want to do, I don't want to be swapping a clutch at the track. I don't want to be swapping a motor at the track. I want that bike ready to rock when I unload it, when I get to the track. Basic maintenance, one thing, but, I really want to make sure, and I get really on my bikes have to be clean. I want to see if something starts to leak. I want it to be safe, that type of thing. So I still enjoyed that. I love doing that. I love working on the bikes. And, I still have my 748. Owen, Owen has been riding me since day one to put it, and I have track body work. I rebuilt the 748 overall up to a R spec without the R motor. So I've got full suspension on it. The chassis has been modified. The intake, it was Doug Lofgren tuned. Beautiful 748. And, he's just like, hey, let's put it back to track spec. No.
Why not?
Oh, but yeah, it's one of those, and I might at some point in time, but
you should, Jason. You should take it out, fire it up, throw your leg around her, take her out for another lap. Yeah, and let Owen have a go at it. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh, I'll let him have a go at some point in time.
Yeah, for sure.
I got to put belts on it first because I'm scared the second I start it up, one of them's going to
snap. Yeah, and then you're just like, yeah. Look, Owen said, "Yeah, Chris, why not?" Yeah, I'm with you, Owen. I got you. I'm in your corner, bro. Trust me. Yeah. I want to get a couple of these comments real quick. So Owen at the very beginning says, "So ready to hear all the stories I haven't heard before." Right? Yeah, me too, buddy. Ben Lee, what is up, my friend? Dude, he says, good evening, guys, and thanks, Chris, for all you do for the greatest sport of all time. Thank you, bro. It's an absolute honor.
Yeah.
I don't know why my heart ain't going, but there it is, baby.
Yeah. Hey, Ben, thanks for the support.
Absolutely. Or my girl Tatum, she does this as the heart. So yeah, there you go. That too. So Charles Bartlett says, hearing the stories we weren't told when he was a kid from Jason's dad. Let's go, Charles. I love it. Thank you for tuning in, my friend.
These are only the ones I can actually tell. There's a lot. It's like some of the stories from your childhood, Dad.
Yeah,
some you can tell, some I know you can't.
Yeah. We can off camera, but not on camera for sure. 110%. And then we got Jody Bartlett, proud mom. Absolutely nothing but love to both parents. And this is one thing. I told Jason, I tell everybody, I'm here for the grassroots of racing and sports. That's where it all happens from the dad, the grandpa, the mom, whether it's a son or a daughter. That's where the love begins, right? And it just goes from generation to generation. I want to get the untold stories that need to be told, that are meant to be told. And that's why we are here, right here, sitting in this chair right now, is because of people like mom and dad and your mom and dad and my mom and dad and everybody else is out there, right? Even though my mom wasn't with it, right? She gave in eventually, but
my mom wasn't either. So.
Right. And I get it. What, Jason, is funny saying that, because I get it from a parent's standpoint. Now that I'm a dad and I see the shit him and his friends are doing, and I was like, oh my God, dude, he could break his arm, he could do this, he could do that, right? But then I'm like, but I'm a boy too. Like, this is what we do. Let's go. If it happens, it happens. We'll deal with it then. If not, let's just go have fun. Whatever, but I still want, him to be as safe as possibly and be home safe and warm and, cozy and all that, blah, blah, blah. It's just what parents do, right? But so I get it from my mom's standpoint, when she was always like, because I remember I come home at like 4:00 in the morning and my mom be up. I'd open the garage door, I'd unlatch it from the electric garage door opener, slowly raise it up so I would make my dad up, especially if he was in town, right? Roll the bike in there. My mom's in there smoking cigarettes. And I was like, what are you doing up? She's like, I was just so worried about you. I couldn't sleep at all until I knew you was home safe and sound. And but I was like, way to make me feel bad, Mom. If I'd have known that, I'd have been home at 1:00 in the morning. Right. But yeah, I mean, I get it, man. I do. But at the same time, I also realize that the freedom that my parents allow me to have to venture off and let me just dabble in this and dabble at, kind of, feel my own way and allow me to make my own mistakes. When my dad be like, I wouldn't do that if I was you. I was like, oh, I got this. And I break something. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't have
Yep.
that, right? He's like, well, I just told you, right? But you weren't gonna listen anyway.
You
So
were
you gotta
warned.
figure it out, right? You're not gonna listen anyway. But if this dude right here that you don't even know tells you the same thing I just told you, you're not gonna do it because you're gonna listen to him.
Yep.
I learned that as a parent, right? So it's
Yep.
just one of those things. But yeah, I get it. I do. But at the same time, you realize that the love that you have for the two wheels and the joy that it brought you is something that's so unique in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And your boy being in love with it too, you want to give him the same opportunity and
Yep.
to grow into that same passion. So it's all that being said, the what ifs, could beens, and blah blah blah. We don't think about that because at the time we don't really care.
Yeah. It's I look now and so I'll say this publicly out here is, Dad, I'm sorry for what I put you through, because now I know what it feels like watching Owen do it. Every time he goes out for a race, like practices don't really bug me, track days don't bug me. He's a great rider. He's got talent. He's careful, he listens. But going out for the race where there's most of the grids, he's on the grid with 20 to 40 other racers, you don't know what's going to happen during that start. You don't know what's going to happen during those first 3 laps. That's the most tense time of a race, standing outside watching, having been in those situations. I mean, I started a race at Road America with CCS once. I started on the hill, 70 plus racers in the class. And I started from the front with 50 or 60 going down Road America, buzzing down that front straight. And those first 3 corners are, with that many people, you don't know who's going to make a mistake. Something's going to happen. Is it going to be a domino effect? And it's scary. And watching it from the outside as a dad now, watching my kid do it, it's terrifying. But guess what? He's in the best gear that I can get him in realistically. I have put him through training. I have given him as many tech tips as I can give him, whether he listens to or not. So there's another story there. I'll touch on that in a minute. But, I've done everything I can, and him seeing his face and seeing his attitude after he gets off of that bike, whether he's had a good session or bad session, he is, that's what I want to see. That's what I live for. That's what makes me feel like a semi-competent dad, which is about the best I can ask for if I'm yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect dad. I do what I can, and I want my kids to be happy. I want my wife to be happy, and that's what I strive.
Yeah, that's what life is, man.
It's tough. It's, as a race dad, watching them go out and doing that first lap I want to throw up every time.
I can only imagine, man. Yeah, take a shot of tequila, throw it up, and be like, "Okay, let's go." Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's but at the same time, everything you said is that love, is that passion, is that it's that willing to sacrifice and see that how happy it makes my son when he comes off the track and that visor comes up. Even as he's rolling down, I see that look through that visor, right? Even so much to the point, you know each other so well, you see it even though it's a tinted visor. You see that the eyes this big and that smile, and you feel that energy, and that's the days you wake up for and bust your ass at work every day to make this happen. That look, that love, that smile, that's exactly why you do what you do to provide.
You are living your life
110%,
and that's the most important thing, is you're living 100%. Your life.
Well, it's again, I say it all the time, it's such a unique journey.
Yeah.
especially to share the same love and same passion. And it don't even have to be for two wheels. It could be for the love
No,
of soccer, right? Which is the real football
whatever.
American. But yeah, hockey or knitting or coloring or drawing or whatever it is. It's that connection that's just so rare, and
Yeah.
it's, because it's so often people don't share that same love and passion, especially from father to son or mother to daughter, or whether it's simply as cooking, right? Like my
Yeah.
wife don't cook, I get it from my mom. I cook, she cooks some, but I love to cook. I get it from my mom. Um, I get my bikes from my dad, of course. It's just and you don't realize it at the time when you get into it, like when you got into it, Jason, your dad showed you the ways, and when you got bit by that bug or two, when that motorcycle chose you, you didn't chose that motorcycle, where it became a lifestyle. That's all you wanted to do. It's all I focused on. The girlfriend, she's absolutely third, fourth place back here. It's cool. We'll get together when we do. If not, whatever. I got to do the tires and chain and sprockets and this and
Yeah.
that, the jetting on the carbs. I got too much shit to do to worry about that, right? But when it takes over your life and it overwhelms you, don't overwhelm you. It does with passion and love. But
Yeah.
years down the road, you sit back one day and you'll be like, dude, look at all the beautiful people. And I say it all the time.
Yeah.
Look at all the
Oh,
beautiful people I made in this beautiful
I,
sport.
I made so many connections and met so many people. I raced, all the people who helped me racing, and, the connections I have with like Rob now and what that's doing for Owens Racing, and people like Steve and T at Pop Shadow Decals. They're down in Florida now, but guess what? They raced the Black Hawk Cup at CCS too. So I knew both of them. I mean, um, I remember T when she came on the scene, and I remember, all these people, and, Matt Drucker Motorsports, Turn One Racing. I used to do some NESBA days. So I go back to that pre-N, it's now N2. Well, guess what? It used to be NESBA.
Yeah.
And, originally that whole NESBA crew, and, doing the other track days, like Sean Edgard up at, CRA was one of the first guys in the upper Midwest doing track days, with Edge Motorsports School or Edge Track Days, doing some of those. So that was when there wasn't track days. So that was a whole new thing. And I remember those days.
That was back when you had to find them in Road Racing World magazine. It was a
Yep.
magazine that was this big.
Oh, it's huge. It
You'd
was,
flip back up to the classified actions. You'd be
yeah.
like, okay, track day here, track day, call this number. Cool, let's
Yep.
go. Yep.
Yep. And that's where had bikes in there. Oh,
Yep.
hey man, there's
Yep.
a bike.
Bikes for sale. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And
I
you're,
remember that.
go to the newsstand and pick up the Wheeler Dealer Motorcycle Edition,
Yep.
and before the internet.
Back in our day when we used to walk to
Yep.
school in 2 feet of snow, kids, you hear this story, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Uphill both ways.
I love it when $1 was $1, not 10 cents now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. Your dad said, Charles said, scared us. His wife Bobby was not happy we beat the helicopter to the hospital. So, talking about you, Rick. Yeah,
You should have slowed down.
yeah, right. You should have slowed down. Why'd you go so fast for? Your dad says, I love the track days, the smell, the sounds, the atmosphere. I miss not being there with Jason. Well, look, man,
Yep.
go back. Go hang out with him at Owen, man. Yeah, man. It's again, it's such a beautiful story. It's one of the most, you couldn't write a better book or better movie written on, the love and passion of sport when it comes to, parents and their kids. Because it's so rare, that's all we have, the elite of the elite in the sport right now.
Yep.
Because of that. So he says Jason's life is a learning experience for both dads and kids. I never regretted one day, and you should, man. I always say that I tell everybody what an honor it is to be able to do this for one, and all the friends and connections I make in this short lifetime, to be friends with everybody. It means more than anything. So it's
take chances and do what you love. There's mornings I get up and it takes me a minute to get out of bed because my knees don't work and my shoulders hurt and everything hurts, and I don't regret a single day. It sucks that constant pain, got to go to chiropractor once a month, and deep tissue
But
massage.
it's worth it. It's worth it.
But it was so worth it. I do not
Absolutely.
regret
Nope.
a single minute of it. I would do it all over again without a
100%.
doubt.
100%. You know, we were saying all this, man. I love the story and the journey, man, because everybody's is it's almost the same, right? What I mean by that, it all starts as a root, right? And then
Yeah.
as the root grows, the kid grows from a dirt bike to a little 50 mini to a supermotor, and then all of a sudden it just grows and it branches out to so many
Yeah.
different dirt bike, you know, supermoto, flat track, blah 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 blah. But it starts out with that same love, same passion of those beautiful twos, you know. And you, my
Yeah.
friend, has an amazing story. And with all this being said, the story you've been telling, you know, you being a dad sitting here right now with Owen where he's at, what advice would you give to all the dads listening to this that wants to get their son or daughter into the sport?
Don't push them. They have to want it. Help them, but don't do it for them. Try and guide them. They need to learn the experience. They need to learn from other people, but do it with purpose. Make sure that they have a goal at the end, whether it be that session. Go out with that, you know, every time before Owen goes out, regardless whether it's a practice session, something else, have a goal for him. I don't care if the goal is wiggle your left finger down the straight. Have a goal for that session. So he has something to focus on, something to work on. And it's not just that session, it's that weekend. It's that year. What's your goal for the year? Are you always going to get your goal? No. Guess what? It's life. You don't always get it. But have that goal and work towards that goal. Other things I would say is be prepared. You know, try and do everything you can ahead of time. Don't leave it to the last minute. Get it done, because then it allows you to think, instead of thinking about, hey, I got to get the shit done. No, I got it done. Now I can think about what needs to happen at that next event or next session or next whatever. Get it done. Don't procrastinate. Owen, don't procrastinate. Another thing is use the family. I don't care what you're doing. There's a family around it. There is a beautiful circus, no matter what you're doing. In racing, it is a beautiful, crazy circus. But those crazy, use those people. There is such a wealth of talent and knowledge, and you know, there's so much out there at that track. Some of it's great, some of it's okay, some of it's probably not so good. But listen to it. Don't be afraid to try it. Use those people around you. You know, one of the things Owen has kind of realized this year, and he's actually voiced it, which makes me proud of him, is he's like, and he really noticed this when he went to the champ school earlier this year, was because I was there, and there's stuff I'd been telling him all year, like things like, you know, he got out his first 2 weekends and I want to go fast. And he tried to go fast and everything else. And I said, what I want you to do is I want you to slow down. I want you to slow down what you're doing. I want you to count your shifts. I want you to make deliberate moves. Count up, count down. Check, find your break markers. So he said, yeah. He started doing that a little bit. And all of a sudden, he slowed down in his lap time. He went 2 seconds faster. So then I could see it in his eyes. He was starting to say, hey, my dad's maybe not an idiot. And then when we went to the champ school, you know, he's getting rode around here with Hunter and Cody and Easy. And they're coming back and they're telling him the exact same things I'm telling him. He's going, damn it, my dad was right. I have these AMA pros and they're telling him the exact same thing. and he's like, they're not talking to him about what he was telling me, I'm like, you're going to go and you're going to learn from these guys. Your dad was not the fastest guy in the paddock. Your dad was definitely not a slow guy in the paddock. And I think he realized that too when we went to Blackhawk and I told him my best lap time Blackhawk's a 112. And he's watching these guys. We were there to watch a race, the Armor race. And he's watching Jack, Jack Daniels Boundary. He's watching him race and he's watching Jack run 115s. And he's used to running Jack up at BIR. So he knows how fast Jack really is. And Jack is fast.
Yes, he is.
And he's watching him and he's going, you ran a 112 here? I'm like, yeah, and I could run 14s and 15s all day long. And so he's looking at me, he's like, you were actually a little bit. Now, my 112 lap was a blind luck lap. I think I hooked on to Jason Farrell and just shut my mind off.
Brain out. Yeah, brain out. Let's go. Yeah.
We're going to send it. And whatever happens, and I made a lap, and it was, a high 112, but I think the lap record that time was like 101 or 102 on 1,000, and I was on a 600.
Yeah.
I'll take a 112 all day long.
All day.
This day, I'll take a 112. But, it's, making sure he learns from everybody around him. You're not a sole source of information. There is everything to everybody else. Go listen to everybody, try different things. What worked for me may not work for you, support them. Don't force them, support them. That's, about what I can give for advice to the dads out there. And go talk to the other dads out there. We all need each other's support.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
There's a dad support group and we all need each other.
That's a good idea. We need to start a dad support group in the paddock, dude. Yes, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. We'll do that. Dad support group.
Yeah, support group.
Write that down. Dad support group. I mean, it's just going off of everything you just said is you're right. Use everybody in the circus to your advantage. Again, it's the same thing I say all the time, and I said it during this one. It's the puzzle pieces. It's those small little puzzle pieces that adds up to that one puzzle for that year, right? When I say that puzzle just refers to that one season, right?
Yeah.
So, but all those, there's going to be a
lifetime.
Well, that's what I was going to say. There's certain of those puzzle pieces that are going to be set in place that will be there for the rest of your life, right? Now, whether you switch a bike manufacturer, that's just a small little puzzle pieces that's going to actually swap in and out, right? Your leathers, or gloves, or helmets, or all that's going to interchange, but there is a lot of it that's going to stay permanently in place throughout your beautiful journey on two wheels, 110%. So you're absolutely right on that.
And don't burn bridges. You don't have to like everybody. You don't have to associate with them, but do not burn bridges.
People, you got to understand, our beautiful circus is literally this big.
It's that big.
I mean, it's literally that big, and it travels quicker. By the time you get home, everybody's done heard. So don't burn bridges, people. Don't. And in life in general, don't even pertain to the paddock. Just
that's life. Yeah.
We got Derek, dude. Derek Stick Boy, bro. What is up, my man? He says CPS needs to check on Owen. Last time I saw him, he was dressed up like me. That's child abuse.
That was all Owen's idea. So for those of you who don't know, if you go to the GNF at Barber, Stick Boy, so Stick Boy Racing, Derek, has a Halloween party because it happens the week before Halloween. The day before, we're leaving for the GNF because we're up in St. Louis, so it's an 8-hour plus drive down. We're like the day before, we're like, we got to do something for Stick because Owen's got to dress up for Stick Boy's party. And he comes up and we're sitting here thinking and throwing ideas out. And all of a sudden he goes, what if I dressed up as Stick Boy?
Brilliant.
So we're like, yes, we make a quick run down to the local costume store, pick up a mullet, had to do a little cutting on it, made a Sick Boy shirt. It was an awesome party. And his wife, Lori, was, she's the one who does the party. She puts on a hell of a party, and we all just poke fun of Derek. So, but it's great. But I mean, it's one of those parties, like we're sitting there kind of partying. I didn't dress up, but I'm sitting there, I'm talking to, Chris Ulrich. I'm talking to the other guys who are at the GNF. Hank's up there running around, and we got all these AMA guys who are just, it's the end of the year race weekend. Everybody's having a good time. But yeah. Oh yeah, there's Derek is that awesome party is all Lori. Yeah.
Lori, she works hard to make sure everyone. Dude, I need to make that party next year. That I need to put that on my calendar. I need to come out there and hang out.
Come on, Barbara at the GNF. It's a little more laid back than the Vintage Fest that's 2 weeks before, but the GNF is just grassroots racing at its.
That's where I want to go. Yep, that's what I want to. Yep, that's what I'm all about, man. That's where that's where it all starts. Is that grassroots of racing?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, man. It's.
I mean, the people we met this year. Guys like Alex. Because Alex from TST's team. He's
Alex Sierra. Yeah.
Just down a little bit. Yep. First time we ever met Alex, we came out of that. We're great buds.
Yeah.
Parked to the other side of me is Eli. So we're going over.
Eli Block. That's my dude right there. Yeah.
And Eli got a whole bunch of great, he followed Owen for the entire first session on Thursday's practice. So he sent me that video. So I've got all that video to watch. I'm like, hey, thanks, Eli's. These people you're meeting for the first time and you're going, it's the people I'm going to be lifelong
friends with,
associates, friends, family with these people.
That's what it is.
And then there's Stick. So
Stick's like that mole that just stays right here. We just deal with them, but we love them at the same time. We love you, Derek, dude. Yeah, I had the honor to actually meet him and his wife twice earlier this year. No, it's good, man. Listen, I love Derek again, man. Thank you, Derek, for all the love and support, man. It truly means a lot. I always enjoy our conversations. It ends up being, hey, man, I got somewhere to be in 10 minutes, and 20 minutes after saying I got to leave for 10 minutes, I'm like, hey, man, there's somewhere I got to, but I enjoy it. It's again, this is beautiful people, family. You said that you meet that otherwise you wouldn't have met in this paddock that are, and the thing that I love too is when I show up and me and my boy or you show up or whoever shows up, it's like when you see them or her, you get this smile that's just like warmth, and you just know, like it's
and you don't even have to see, you can literally see each other from across the paddock and just nod your head and go, yeah,
I love you.
You're my people.
You're my people. 110%, man. I love it, man. I love it. Well, listen, dude, we're coming up on 52, almost 53 minutes into this already, man. I told you it was going to go by quick, my friend. But yeah, so I want to transition to the next part where I get to pick your brain on what you do away from all this. But no worries, because I know there's still a whole lot of stories that me and you need to talk about. So we'll definitely sit down next year and do a part 2 of this one for sure. It's been an honor, man. Again, Jason, I've said it before, I say it all the time, thank you so much for all the love and support, man. You and Owen, everybody out there, Rob, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be, and girls, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this, and it really means a lot to me. I wish, I've told Owen this a lot, man. Whatever visions and goals your boy has, man, I hope he achieves them 10 times over. I'm absolutely a fan of the whole way. And he'll make it, having that love and support from somebody like his dad, you, and his grandparents, which is your parents in his corner, and Rob, and again, everybody. It's every Stick Boy, everybody, right? Again, it's all those little puzzle pieces that are super important. It's It's an honor for me to be part of this journey, to watch your boy grow to the young legend he already is, but even more progress to be the man that he's going to be. And a lot of that has to do with your success too. But a lot of that also has to do with your parents' success on who they had of you being who you are today as a man too. So thank you, mom and dad.
Yeah.
Jason's mom and dad out there
Thank you.
for doing what you do and all the love and support, because it really means a lot. It takes I don't know if your parents told you this. I used to hear this shit from my mom and her twin sister all the time. My mom's got a twin sister. I don't think I've ever said this live on the pod. My mom's got an identical twin sister. And to this day, when they call me, I can't tell them apart on the phone. Right.
Oh no.
But they used to tell me all the time growing up that it takes a village to raise a child. I'm like, well, my dad's a fighter. He's gone 8-9 months. It's just you and it's just you. What are you talking about? This village? I don't see a village. But now that I'm a parent, I see it, right? It really takes a village to raise a child. But being in this sport, me road racing, club racing, all this blah, 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 and being in the position that I am and being friends with especially the future legends of the sport, it absolutely takes more than a village to raise a racer.
Yeah.
It's incredible, right? It really is. So thank you to all the parents and supporters out there that support Owen and all my friends out there, because without, again, those little important puzzle pieces, we wouldn't be here. So nothing but love, for real. Derek says Lori said she agrees with that.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
We love Lori. Yeah. So, man, listen, first thing I want to say, man, is Jason, tell us something we don't know about you at all.
Oh man, something. I would probably say something like I've got a really addictive personality, but that might be a little kind of obvious. I'm a huge introvert. I dislike big groups of people. I dislike people in general. But for some reason, when I get around my people, racers, motorheads, gearheads, I'm perfectly comfortable. But you drop me in the middle of New York City, I can last for 3 or 4 hours, and then it's just like I got to go stick my head under a pillow. I come home from work after dealing with people at work all day, and I love the people I work with, and I want the best for them. But I come home from work after working for 8 or 10 hours, and I want to go sit in the garage alone and just be quiet with myself. So I'm a huge introvert. I just trained myself not to show it when I'm in public.
I gotcha. I can't say the same, but I'm definitely the opposite. I'm an extrovert. I get that from, growing up in the Navy, moving all the time from school to school, meet new friends, just getting comfortable and having to move again. I made a choice at a young age saying, I'm either going to be against this and just be blah, blah. I don't want no friends. Or I'm just going to enjoy everybody that comes to my life at the moment it happens, and that's what kind of made me this outgoing, drop me off in the middle of nowhere. I don't know anybody. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna make friends. I'm gonna have somewhere to stay. I'm gonna eat. I've never had an issue with that. Never been comfortable talking in front of people, especially in front of a live audience or anything like that, like school plays and stuff. I was like, nope, absolutely not. But since doing this, getting into podcasting, man, it's like, I don't know, something woke up inside me I never realized I had, and that's not a big deal at all. I actually embrace it.
I mean, I spent years training myself when I kind of got into the job where I was and started making it up and started managing things. I had to train and learn how to give presentations and give them on a dime. I didn't have days to prepare. It was, hey, 10 minutes, you got to give a presentation. And now at this point in my time, I'm damn near 50, and I can give me 5 minutes time to prep, and I'm
good.
I'll knock the audience's socks off.
Let's go. I love it.
But it's one of those things I can do. I can actually do it fairly well, but man, it drains me.
Yeah, it's man, I remember when I when I first got introduction to the podcast, and I was helping the two guys that started it before I took it over, man, I should do all this prep work and do all this stuff. And then once I took it over, I was like, man, I don't want to edit nothing. Like I just want to do it live,
Man,
raw, off the
yeah,
top of my head and just go with it. And that's just how I just do it, right? Like
yeah,
it's I don't know, man. It's weird to say. It's like it's being comfortable, being uncomfortable, but comfortable being
yeah,
uncomfortable at the same
yeah,
time, so to speak, right?
yep.
It's like, dude, you know how nervous I was when I did the interview with Philip Tone at Mid Ohio when I did the live interview up there in the media center, and there was people there, and I didn't realize I was gonna be there with people actually sitting there watching us doing it in this room, right? So that was a first for me, but I was like, dude, we're here, let's go. I got this, no
Do it.
problem, right? Like
Yeah.
I just toned everybody out and focused on what I was doing, and yeah, let's go. So
Hit
yeah,
it, send it.
yeah, hit it and send it. Let's go. Let's see how this one plays out. So, bro, are you a coffee drinker?
No,
No. Mountain Dew, there it is. You see the
I
dew,
do
baby.
not drink coffee, but I
do the dew.
do the do. I don't like other colas. I don't, I basically got the orange Fantas and Mountain Dews are about the only sodas I'll ever drink. I know it's horrible for me. I know it's full of sugar, but I don't drink coffee. I don't hardly drink any alcohol a whole lot. I let me have my freaking cigarettes and Mountain Dew and I'll be happy.
That's it. Let me be. Let me be.
Yeah, let me be.
Oh my god, I love it. You know, everybody knows I listen to a lot of audiobooks, bro. Do you listen to any books or read besides shot manuals? Shot manuals don't count, right? But
God, but it's so a shop manual, or if anybody knows what a McMaster car catalog is, I'm not talking online, I'm talking the old catalog. That
yeah.
was so satisfying to piece. Oh, they have this?
Circle it. I want this. I want
Yes, I
this.
want
I
this.
want this. Yeah.
Oh, vacuum pump. I get that from McMaster
Yeah.
car. But so yeah, I do. I've got about depending on traffic, between a 35 and 60-minute ride to work, and same on the back, so double that. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I used to read a ton of books until I hit about 40 and my eyesight went crap. I hit about 45 and my eyesight went from better than perfect to I can't see anything within 3 feet of me. And if it's not out about 15 feet, it's fuzzy. So I don't really read much anymore, but I've got boxes and boxes of books, and I love sci-fi fantasy. I'm a huge Star Wars geek, huge geek. Most of if I'm listening to a book, it's probably a Star Wars book in my audio books, or I'm listening to a motorcycle podcast, or that's so yeah.
You sound like me. I listened to I was listening to the last book I listened to was Change Your Mind, Change Your Diet, or Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind, one of those two. But I just recently had a dog, my baby girl.
Yeah.
Charlie
Sorry about that,
passed
man.
away. Man, I appreciate it, man. She's actually sitting right here with me like she always has been. But I always wanted to see the movie The Art of Racing in the Rain. And I was like, you know what? They have it in the audiobook form. I was like, I stayed away from it for a while. Everything happens for a reason. So I've been in this kind of mind state to where I hadn't started yet, but that's the next book that I'm getting ready to
That's
so
perfect timing for that.
Yeah. And then I listened to, as far as podcasts go today, it's almost done, but I've been listening to this Danny Jones. It is Danny Jones, NASA Apollo astronaut finally faces off against the #1 moon landing skeptic. So the guy that actually went to the moon,
interesting.
the guy that's been a skeptic. Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie. People know my wife will tell you I'm a conspiracy theorist, right? Like I question everything. So it's it's interesting to get both sides of the story. I'll say that. Charles says you two sound like complete opposites, but in reality, you both excel in what you do. Thank you. Thank you so
We're
much.
motorcycle family.
That's it.
That's
Straight
it.
up. Motorcycle family, right? And all our everything, everything else is just what makes us unique. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? All our views and opinions and stuff. But man, I get into big stuff like that. I really do. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah, I love information. I mean, give me the details, give me the numbers. I'm an engineer. I don't work off of gut feelings. I take that into account, but I work off of hard data. Download me the damn data log from the bike and let's look at that.
Let me see what the ECU's actually
Yeah,
saying.
let's see
Right.
if you open that throttle to 100% as strong as you said
Right.
you did.
Like you said 100, I'm seeing right here 47%.
Yeah,
Man.
you got a
What's
little way to
going
go.
on? You got more than halfway to go on there, Bubba.
Oh yeah, you said you braked at the 3 board. That's looking more
More
like
like
a
the
4 board.
7.
Yeah,
What are you doing? Yeah. 15 bars of pressure. Yeah, whatever.
yeah,
It's hilarious. But yeah, it's you're right, dude. Listening and just I guess keeping an open mind and just
yeah,
taking everything in and valuing everybody's views and opinions,
yeah.
but just kind of forming your own and your own way of doing whatever. So yeah, it's
You
yeah, man. So on saying that, are you superstitious at all? Do you have any superstitions?
know, not really. I I don't mind routines. Um, I like routines, but I don't get wonky when I don't do a routine. Um, there's one of those things. The only thing I may be superstitious about is, and I don't know if I'm superstitious or it's just a love, a new pair of socks.
Bro,
Oh my
nothing
God.
new pair of
Best
socks.
feeling in the world. You
Bro,
give me a brand new pair of socks and you put those on and
it's the
that's
best
heaven
thing
right
ever.
there.
It is. It really is. Dude, I was just saying this the other day, man. I was like, dude, I need new socks. They're like, what? I was like, how often do you talk about buying new socks? He's like, hardly ever. I was like, dude, that's the greatest thing ever. You get brand new socks.
It is.
Bro.
The first time you put those on,
Oh.
they're just there's it's something about that.
And you got to wear them inside out.
Oh yeah.
People listen
Yeah.
to me. Wear your
No,
socks
wear your socks
inside
inside out as
100%.
well.
All of them. I don't care what socks they are. Wear them inside out. When you wear them the normal way, it has that your toes get up in the little thing. You got to push it to the side. You take your shoe off. You got to move your sock. You wear them inside out. You got to worry about that.
Yeah. I would say you do that with socks, and you can do that with your underwear too. But sorry, Mom. Sorry, Bobby. Since I know you're listening, why not?
Right? Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm with it, man. Trust me. It's well, when I go to the races, especially when I stay at the racetrack over the weekend, man, I live literally out of my truck.
Oh yeah.
Straight up. I got my bags in the back, got all this stuff. I go in there when I take a shower, go to my truck, get my towel, my backpack, put all the clothes in it,
Yeah.
bag for all my dirty clothes. Yeah, it's a track life.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right?
As long as you have multiple undersuits if you're riding.
And
You
on
have
that
to.
note, big
You have
plug
to.
on 64 Degree Racing. My man Tate at 64. Anybody needs an undersuit, man. It's one of the best in the business, hands down. Nothing but love. 64degreeracing.com. And then also on that note, another good friend of mine in this sport makes undersuits too. They're just as amazing. Venomsport.com. Guys and girls, you can go to 64degreeracing.com or venomsport.com. On with talking about all this. Listen, people, when you buy stuff, keep it in the industry. Don't order the shit off of Amazon, Temu, at Walmart. Keep it within the industry.
Support those who support
The sport. 110%.
I don't care if you can get it $20 cheaper off of Temu or Amazon. Buy it from somebody who's taking that extra $20 and sticking it into somebody's kid.
100%. And with saying that, also GRG Designs, right? .com, REBgraphics.com, and drippandwet.com. I got 3 friends in the industry that make graphics. You're not going to go wrong by ordering from any one of them. Nope. And I get asked this question. They're like, well, man, you get all these friends that do the same thing. I'm like, look, it's like you go to a certain department store, you walk in, you might not like the vibe or the style that suits you. but there's two more you could choose from. Just
Yeah.
choose where you fit in, what vibe
Yeah.
that suits you the best. That's you. The point is keep within the industry. Those are my three
Yep.
good friends that do that stuff within the industry. And again, you're not going to go wrong by ordering from any of them. And plus the guy that Jason said earlier, I forget the guy's name,
Yeah.
but
Pop Shadow.
him too. Yeah, him too.
Steven
Right.
T.
So it's the industry, even though it's a small, beautiful
Yeah.
circus, there's so many people that do the same things in it. There's enough to go around, right?
And they all know each other and they all work with each other. These
100%.
people are all friends with
All
each
friends.
other.
Yes, they
Because
are.
guess what? There's enough work
To
to
go
go around.
100%.
I mean, we've used Chris before, Grip and Wet.
Yep.
You know, you want some goofy, really cool, funky stuff, you go to Chris.
Yep.
You want some of the best number plates that are out there, I go to Steve and T. You know, REB, you want that kind of newer, very clean, you know, straight look on your decals. You go to them. You know, there's these guys all do their stuff a little differently, and don't be afraid to use multiples together.
Yeah. Why
Give
not?
them your business though, because they work hard for it and they deserve it.
And they support the sport. You're right.
Yes,
I mean,
they all of them support the sport.
well, it's a huge deal. I can't stress it enough. It really is. So yeah, just a quick plug on everybody. But yes, and you're right. You know, I tell people that often. I'm like, look, if you don't bring enough clothes, just bring enough undersuits. Like, why would you go to a track day with one pair of underwear and one undersuit for the weekend? That don't make no sense, right? So yeah, and listen, on saying that, dude, Under Armour and Nike and the warm gear and the cold gear, that is absolutely not the same as a true motorcycle
A
undersuit.
good compression, a real compression suit, be it a one-piecer or a two-piecer, a real compression suit is
Where it's at.
significantly different.
100%. And you can get them custom made, like mine right here, right? It's all fully custom. I got the pants; they're actually hung up with it, but it has my last name on the back, Simcoe, and of course my Pendergast and my colors and stuff. Actually, I got two of them, and I wear them. It's getting cold in here in Virginia, so I got Under Armour and Nike and stuff, but there's nothing greater feeling than going to work and it being cold. And I go, y'all check this shit out. They're like, dude, you got long johns and Pendergast. I'm like, bro, y'all have no idea, right? Like, let's go. And this is not only cold gear. This is blah 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 blah. And they're like, they don't give a shit, but I do, right? But so let's go. But it's true. It is true. Like, I didn't believe it at first. Man, I got so many undersuits. It's ridiculous, right? One thing I'd like to do, and I've talked about this many times, just never had the opportunity to sit down and do it. Is I want to start doing product reviews on all these products I got, man.
Oh yeah, you should.
Reviews like my Bison gear, my 64-degree racing, and Venom, and I got Envy. Like, I got so many undersuits and just all this gear that I could throw on and be like, hey, this is my honest opinion. This is my pros and my cons, and should you buy it? Absolutely, right? If this is what you're looking for, let's go.
One of those, and that's when I was doing product reviews on CBR600.com, that was the thing is, hey, I got this for free. They wanted me to evaluate it. Here's what I think, and here's my honest opinion. And me as working as a manufacturer, if you come back and tell me my product is perfect and everything's good,
I know you're full of shit.
I don't get anything out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me happy.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you. Yeah.
But it's, hey, my guys, you did. But if they come back and say, it worked really well, and they give me true constructive feedback, I didn't like the way this fit together, or because I do it to myself when I design stuff, but that it makes the product better in the long run.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah,
it does. My side of it. So when I always give a review, this is what I like. This is what I don't.
This is where it could be improved on, in my personal opinion, right? This is just my personal opinion, right?
Yes.
No, it's
you got to leave it, but this is it. This is what I see.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. And by doing that, we just want to, just help everybody make a good decision based on, our views and opinions, or my view and opinion, or his, right? So look, your dad says, I would love to meet Chris in person. Well, bro, let's make it happen, Charles. It'd be an honor to meet you, man. Yeah, I love one of my favorite things to do is if we hadn't met in person yet, such as me and Owen and
Yeah.
Jason, is when we finally get to meet. To me, it's a full circle, right? We've been friends for X amount of years. I've had his son on, a bunch of times on the podcast already, but to finally get to meet in person, that's when that full journey. It's not.
Yeah.
That's not where the journey ends. That's obviously where it's still going. It's always going to go, but it's kind of like the beginning of the beginning, so to speak, because we get to meet in person. We feel that natural energy and get those hugs and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's do it, Charles. I'm with it, man. Let's make this happen next year. I'm totally game, man. Jason says, Merry Christmas. I need motorcycle parts. Me too, Jason. Let's
We
go.
all do.
I love it, dude. Jason's absolutely amazing. He got a brand new R9 too. I can't wait to see
Oh, nice.
him chop it
Yeah,
up next year on that.
Owen got to ride one of those and was super impressed on a first ride.
They're nice bikes, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this, dude. If you had one superpower, what would your superpower be? Mine would be teleportation. Because then I could be like, hey, Jason, we're gonna do this podcast. I'm gonna be in your living room right now. Boom. And we're there, right? Or hey, I want to go to World Superbike or Phillip Island or wherever. Boom, I'm there and I'm back home every night sleeping in my bed.
Yeah. So I mean, hands down, first thing in my mind is a regenerative healing. So the Wolverine, the
Wolverine, there you go.
because I literally, I beat the crap out of my body. I live with a certain amount of pain all day, every day. And I remember what it was like to live without pain, kind of. And I would like to kind of go back that way once in a great while. Like I said, though, I don't regret anything I've ever done and I wouldn't trade it, but it'd be nice to wake up in the morning and be able to actually hop out of bed instead of
Roll out of
my
bed.
feet over.
Yeah.
Okay, if I stand up, am I going to end up in my face or am I going to stay standing up?
Am I gonna pull my back muscle? Yeah. No, I mean, it's you do live pain free in the 6 hours you sleep, right? It's just when you wake up, it hurts just to get out of bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, funny story real quick. When my son, he was 4, I think, when we got him his trampoline, or 5, showed up late. Me and my buddy come over. My buddy come over. I was here, obviously. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, snowing. We finally get it done. I wake up the next day. Rossi's all excited. I clean it off. We go out there. I'm like, I'm gonna show you back flips, front flips, all this. Dude, I wake up the next day after that. I felt like I got beat up by Mike Tyson. I went to go roll out the bed like I normally do. I was like, oh, wait a minute. What is wrong? What happened? It was, yeah, man. It was, it just reminds me that, man, my body's just not used to doing that. I'll be fine if I just continue to do it. Right. So, yeah, I got you on that. Jason Griffin, bro, what is up, my man? He says, I finally got to meet you at Daytona this year. Super pumped for you and honored to be coming on your show. Jason, nothing but love. Is an absolute honor. Dude, Jason's have you met Jason?
No, I have not.
Dude, he's absolutely amazing. He's out there was racing with TBEX USA Experience.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. Super fast. Praia RS 660. Yeah.
Yep.
Super. It was funny, man, because we met at Daytona and he didn't recognize me because I wasn't in the pin the gas stuff. I had the Daytona.
You weren't wearing pink and blue.
No, I wasn't wearing my normal stuff, right? And I had to tell him, I was like, dude, Simcoe from Pin the Gas. He looks at me, he's like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. He's like, we've had several phone calls. Yes, my friend. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. We have. Yeah.
No, I love the T-Bex crew and
amazing, man. Amazing.
What they do is just super cool.
It really is.
It's full support to them, man. It's
amazing. And if you guys missed that episode, I actually sat down with the owner, Mike, and did the whole podcast with him. So you guys and girls go check it out. Since then, I've had several of his guys on here. Jason's coming on, and I plan on getting everybody on. So it's going to be, I love that whole journey and what they're doing for everybody to get back on 2 wheels. It's, we need more people like that in the world. 110%.
Yep. So, oh, hell yes.
Let me ask you this, man. What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, man. I try not to look back too much, but maybe take more chances. than I did, because when I was growing up, I was crazy. I'm still crazy to this day. I'm kind of got a job of everybody's sitting around. Hey, why don't we do with some crazy idea? I'm going to be the first one in line going, hey, yeah, let's do this. But there were times where I didn't stick my neck out when I should have. I didn't stand up for somebody when I should have. Whether I get my ass beat or not, I don't care. I should have done better. That's do better. Take that chance. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your friends. That's what I would do. That's what I would tell my younger self.
I love it, man. Yeah, it's I feel you on that, bro. I really do. What's your go-to karaoke song?
I haven't got one because
come on, not even in the shower. You gotta sing in the shower, man. Come on, man.
No.
I'm
the one sitting in the shower with the shower beer going. No, I have a horrible voice. I've only been drunk enough to do karaoke a couple times.
Okay, all right.
I'm not a karaoke guy. I will go to the karaoke bar. I will sit there. I will have fun. I will yell. I will cheer. I will egg you on. But my ass is not getting up there until I'm falling down drunk. And I haven't been falling down drunk in 10 years at least.
Dude, I need to get me a karaoke machine and start taking it to the racetrack so me and the racers can do karaoke songs together, dude, live at the track. How awesome would that be?
It wouldn't surprise me if Stick Boy and Lori showed up with one.
Well, Lori and Stick Boy, let's make this happen.
That would not surprise me in the least little bit.
I will be game. I'll get on that mic. You already know. I will kick it off. Let's go. I'm with it. 100%. Let me ask you this. If you could travel back to any era of time, where would you travel back to?
Probably the 50s, 60s, kind of that mechanical revolution age where the U.S. really started to move forward mechanically, engineering wise, and started to really blow up and become a forward thinking, hey, let's try this. No matter what happens, they got that, hey, let's try this and see what happens mentality, and just see what that was like.
Yeah.
Where the hot rodders were, the badass guys were, where my dad grew up. I mean, my dad was in Air Force. He's a pilot. He grew up hot rodding, building cars. I would have loved to kind of seen that area where it was make do with what you got, make it happen out of what you have. Kind of, you see a lot of that in the current day. India, actually, a lot of people look at them, well, it's all overcrowded, but look at what they're doing with what they have. Look at the can-do mentality that they have. They are, I love that. You know what? This is what I got. This is where I got to get to. I'm going to make it happen. And they do. Now, if they had better food, I would appreciate that. But
you don't like Indian food? I love Indian food, man.
I like some curry, but I'm not a big fan of like most Indian foods.
No.
I
can bang it out for sure. I will bang it out 100%. Spicy too. Let's go. I love it. I love it.
I don't mind spicy, but it's gonna have flavor. I want that flavor along with that heat.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes I just want the heat and just cry and moan and bitch about it. But yeah, I feel you on that. That matter of fact, that's the spiciest food I ever ate at a restaurant was the Indian restaurant.
Oh yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Well, I told the guy, I said, I want the level. He said 0 or 5, my friend. I said, make this special hot sauce you guys make in the back
Yeah.
that you normally don't serve. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, bro, make it a 10, bro. Let's go. And I got what I asked for. I got more
Yeah.
than I asked for. But I finished my plate because I didn't want him to see that
Yep.
me give in and tap out. I went home crying and bitching the next day, but it was so worth it. I'd do it again right now. 100%.
You took the consequences of your actions.
That's it. It was fast.
That's-
Let's go.
You manned up and you you got yourself into it. You did it.
Dude, the hottest shit I ever did was a 13 million Scoville peanuts. There were 6 of them. I ate all 6 at one time.
Ooh.
That was the
Ouch.
hottest, worst thing I ever did.
Ouch.
So yeah, it messed up my taste buds for like 2 months, man.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it was horrible, dude. It was absolutely horrible. But yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you this: Star Wars lover to lover, man. What Star Wars character would you be, bro?
I mean, I'm Han Solo.
He said I'm Han Solo. I love
Screw it. I'm gonna go do what I want. I'm gonna be the smuggler.
That's it.
This is me. If you don't like it,
Bump off.
fuck off. Yeah,
I'm good.
I don't care.
Man. I don't care. I love it, man. I love it. Well, listen, this has been a lot of fun, man. We're almost an hour and 30 of this, dude. I actually got a phone call I got to do here coming up.
I gotta go home eventually. So
right. So I have one question that I am going to ask you, and then we'll give all our shout outs and stuff. But last question, man, money no object. You could have your own Moto America team. Yes, Owen's going to be one of your riders, obviously, of course, but take him out of the equation. You have your own. Yep, you have your own team in Moto America. It could be Superbike, Super Sport, whatever class you want to be in. What's the class you're going to be in? What's the manufacturer motorcycle you're going to have? And who are the 2 current riders in Moto America, including Owen, that you're going to put on those machines?
So he'll be my third. So.
Yeah, no, Owen's going to be your first. Your other first. 2, that's going to be on there.
So I'm brand agnostic. But deep down in my heart, I got a love for Hondas. I absolutely love Ducati too, but I have this love for Honda because it's the best all around bike. Except for a 51, which I know you're going to disagree with, but they're a pig of a bike. And they're not a Ducati, but no, I love 51s too. They're a beautiful machine, but
I got one. Yeah.
I know. But I would do a Honda Superbike because you look at, you take Moto America out of the equation and you look at the rest of the world. They ain't a bad bike. You get a good rider on it. As far as riders, JD Beach. Jiggy Dog. I gotta put his. So I think I love guys like Josh Hayes. I've met Josh a couple times. Guys like that. I'm in awe of them. But JD Beach is just he's not a kid anymore. God, I gotta keep reminding myself how much older I am now. But I've been watching him since he was such a young guy, and the amount of professionalism and the amount of work that he puts in to his riding. I got to put him on a bike. He deserves that top shot, period. And I hope he gets it that day. If the rumors are true, what I'm hearing, I hope he gets the ride that they're saying he's going to get.
Me too, my friend. Me too.
The other guy I would probably put on there is one of the faster kids in the class. I mean, I know he's not ready for it yet, but putting somebody like a Hank Vosberg on, the kid's just a natural talent.
Yeah.
Somebody like Rocco Landers.
Or Matthew Chapin.
Matthew Chapin. Those guys, I'm watching them where they're at in their careers. They're so young in their careers, and they have so much talent. Ty Scott, Blake Davis.
Yo,
Um, I'd love to put, I'm just gonna say this because I really love Cody and Easy and Hunter. I'd put some of them on that top tier equipment to see what they could really do, because they're good equipment now. They're a really good equipment now. Any equipment that's on that field is good. But put them on a real factory super bike, see what they can do. But yeah, I mean, JD Beach and one of those kids.
it's hard to pick because there's so much talent.
Oh God, there's
and
so many of them.
It really is. I think about it every time I ask that question. As you're answering, I'm going through my head. I was like, oh, but what about him? Oh, what about her? Oh, but what about this and that? Right? It's
I mean, give Ella another year. I want to see what. So you know what? I want to see what Ella's going to do on a big bike.
Me too.
I've seen what Avery can do, and he's great.
He's a beast.
I've seen what Ella's doing, as when I'm sitting there watching at the GNF. Owen's going around in the 2-hour endurance race. Ella's going by. They're together in practice. He's out there with these AMA stars, and I'm watching what they can do, and the amount of talent that is there. It's just sad there's not more sponsorship dollars. But
yeah, that's a whole nother topic and subject. I mean, you're going to be on here for another couple hours talking about that shit. No, we can't go down that dark winding road right now, but we will, because it would be a good subject for me to talk about, because I said this, you with Owen, you're in that, you're coming up to that road in y'all's journey to where, these sponsorships are going to start to matter.
But I want to do it. So one thing of the sponsorship is, I'll keep this one short. Don't expect a sponsor to walk up and hand you money. You need to create a relationship with the sponsor, and you need to have some sort of loyalty, and they need to get out of it as much as you are, if not more, to make it worthwhile to them.
Yep.
Make it a relationship, start a relationship. I wouldn't ever expect any one of my sponsors to give me anything to start with.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And what we're saying that too is man, social media is such a huge part in our sport right now for all the, young guys and girls out there listening. It's like, that's what they, me having the new sponsor with, Komani and all that, they love to, even with Bison and all of them, I don't care who it is, KY2, they'd love to see that sponsorship. They'd love to see you do shout outs on the helmets or the gloves or whatever it is, the graphics. It don't matter what it is, brake lines, blah, 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 woodcraft. It's such a huge part to give those shout outs and do it on a weekly basis. It takes literally 15, 30 seconds. Yeah, there you go. Right. It's
right there. Right there.
Stone. Yeah, there it is. LM2. And then we got Pit Moto. My boy Zeb down there at Pit Moto. Yeah. And then of course Stick Boy Derek at Stick Boy Racing. Yeah, I mean it's it's important, man. It is to social media is
support the sport that supports you
110%. And don't expect shit for free. A lot of time, I got so many shirts from a lot of my friends, man. And dude, 9 times out of 10, I give money for it. I'm like, here you go. Especially if I have cash. If I don't have cash, I'll usually cash app or Venmo, because I got your number. If we have that on there, I can find you and drop you some money in. But I love to support my friends in the sport. Right now, what's $40? I'd rather give you $40 for that shirt than Pedro Acosta for his shirt. Yeah. He's made it. He's got the house. He's got the whatever, right?
And he's getting like 3 cents on that shirt. It's everybody else who's getting the money on that shirt.
Yeah, 100%. Right. So I'd rather support my friends than, people that I don't know personally. So it goes a long ways for sure. But Dude, Jason, this
Yeah.
has been an absolute honor, man. Yeah, I can't wait to sit down for part 2. I'm gonna let Jason in this, but before I let Jason in this, I just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight that listened to this. Jason, Charles, your mama, Stick Boy, and all them. I love you, all you guys and girls out there. Owen, everybody that hits that like and that subscribe. If you have not yet, please go on all my socials, Spotify, iHeart, hit the ding dongs, the TikToks, all that snazzy jazz stuff that goes along with it. It does help me out, and I'm greatly appreciated. And it's an honor to be able to do this. And thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, listeners, and Jason, and all my friends coming on here, I wouldn't be able to do this. This episode will be available tonight. Here, probably 7:30. Give me to about 9 o'clock. It'll be out everywhere. I'll tag on all the socials. I'll send you the link directly, all that good stuff. But yeah, again, I appreciate all the love and support. And Jason, man, it's been an absolute honor. Thank you so much, my friend. It really means a lot to me. Tell everybody where they can find you and your boy Owen and support you guys. And are you guys getting any merch? I keep asking Owen, get some merch.
Not yet. We're working on some deals right now. As you know,
As I know,
a couple of them you're aware of
Yep.
already, but we're working on some other deals, and maybe some merch will come of that. But you can find me. I'm, like I said, I'm a crazy introvert. I am on Facebook, so you can hit me up on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn, but other than that, I keep pretty low profile. But I just want to give a shout out, to the whole community, but all the people that has been involved in Owens Racing over the last 2.5 years. I got to thank Mark Stork, who let us borrow his KLX 140 and literally chauffeured us around for a year running the minis to see if Owen was really wanting to do this. He took his time, his bike. We made Owen pay for diesel, but so he got his first taste of what racing was starting to cost 2 years ago. But people like him, people like Rob Oliva, LM2. Rob stepped up and came to me and said, I want to put on the LM2 team. I've got a bike. I'll build the bike. You sign the contract. You be his chief mechanic. And guess what? I get to hang out with you again. So that's what Owen's like. Did he really want me, or did he just want you hanging out with him in the pits? Because Rob and I've known Rob since he was Lithium Motorsports, Suspension Solutions. We lost touch for about 10 years when, there's some stuff going on with his business. He came back with LM2, and eventually we kind of linked back up and, spent a year and a half kind of just talking on and off. And we're the kind of people, Rob and I we can go months without talking to each other. And then we'll talk to each other and we'll be good. And then, it's quick, it's easy. But then when we're at the pits, we're sitting there and, we're going out to dinner every CRA weekend. And the team and the people who he surrounded Owen with this year, I cannot be more thankful to them. Kira, Brian, Evan, Colin, Jamie, completely different, all different backgrounds, all different views of everything, all different riding levels, styles. He surrounded Owen, and the support that he gave Owen and the team gave Owen, I can't begin to say thank you enough for that. It's amazing what he did. He's almost done. We're trying to wrap it up.
Now she let my doggy Fiona come in here. She wanted to come in. Yeah.
But and then I gotta thank the sponsors who come up for Owen and stood up and partnered with him. And it's a partnership. It's not a sponsorship. It's a partnership. The Woodcraft, the Vortex, Hindle Exhausts, the people like Steve and T at Pop Shadow. I know I've mentioned them a couple of times, but what they've done for us this year has just been phenomenal. But and thanks to people like you, Chris, you have given on media attention. You have given a kid who had a year and a half riding a motorcycle. Before that, no experience other than P-Dub. He had a year and a half. He'd never done a track day before he raced his first race on a track and won it because of people like, Stick Boy and John Wilkins and the keen support of Alex and Eli and the guys at Ghetto Customs. There's, there's it's the whole racing family that I got to thank, but, for the support that Owen and treating Owen like another racer. He's not a 17-year-old boy when he's in a paddock. And I told him this, you are not a 17-year-old in the paddock. You are just another racer. You're not my son. You're another racer. And the entire paddock treats him that way.
Love it. I love it, man. It's a beautiful thing to see, man. It really is. And again, dude, Jason, thank you. It's an honor, again, to be able to do this and support your son and everybody else. It's something I wanted to do. I wanted to do things different and bring a different perspective and shine the light on everybody. Not just the household names, because the sport's important to me. Obviously, you guys know that. You listen to it, so it's those grassroots stories and the humble beginnings and the kids. Who knows, man? Out of all these interviews I've done so far, and the many more I'm gonna do in the future, one of these they're gonna be a future legend. They're already all legends right now, right? But somebody's actually gonna be a freaking legend and be like, dude, I watched him his whole career growing up, or whatever. It's man, it's very humbling, man, to be part of it, man. And man, thank you guys for letting me in and being part of the journey. It's an honor to be able to do it, man. So let's go, man. Love it, man. I love it. But yes, let's go. But listen, I got to get off here. I got a phone call I got to do with a friend of mine in Australia, which is the next day. And I think it'll be.
I cannot wait for that one.
No, yeah, I know, me too. You're the only one that knows about this. Nobody knows.
I'm not going to say anything, but I cannot wait because that's a name from the past.
Blast from the past, baby. Let's go. I know, I was super stoked. So, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute honor to sit down with my friend and the legend, Jason Bartlett, the father of Owen Bartlett, a future legend. Well, he already is a legend, but a real future legend of the sport. If you guys missed that episode, me and Owen sat down, I think 3 times already so far.
I think twice.
It's hard to keep up all the ones I've done. But if you guys missed it, girls, go back. You can rewatch it, re-listen to it, or whatever. But thank you guys and girls for tuning in. Man, this year's been gone so quick. Christmas is right around the corner. It's hard to believe. Thanksgiving's already over. So this is a busy month for me as far as podcasts go. I pretty much have one pretty much every day planned out for the rest of this month except for Christmas. So you guys will be seeing this face many more times this month. So let's go. Anyway, thank you guys and girls so much. I love each and every single one of you, and we will see you soon. Jason, I will give you a call, my friend.
Peace out.
See you guys.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.